People wanted to know where they are getting their particular food source from. Farm lore was an answer to that.
So yours, actually, the restaurant is set in a farm, or rather, it's like an extended garden.
If I say a garden, no, it's a 37-acre farm.
Wow, that is a farm.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is in the outskirts of Bangalore, with seats only 18 seats, 18 for lunch and 18 for dinner. Luxury doesn't come with only money.
In today's hustle bustle, where everything is like faster, this is much more slow down approach towards dining and also experience, right, chef?
A lot more thought process behind when we are creating ingredients and more stories as well. Vasitafa is one of my very prized possession dishes, which I would say. When I went to Kochi, I saw the whole seashore was full of plastic. Why can't we depict this in a plate? So it's basically a metaphor of how we are contaminating the ocean. So we created a course which looks like plastic, which is not, but it's made with potatoes. Coconut came through sea, so it's with spirulina and coconut, and then there's a fish there, and then there's crude oil, how we contaminate the ocean, but using an edible charcoal. The story is not there just for you to resonate with this, it's also going to make you think. So we tell stories like that. So that's basically how we create stories in food. But again, there are numerous stories to be told. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, chef, how do you? I understand that you are giving your interpretation of certain stories and this one.
Yeah.
How are people accepting it? Are they able to connect with it? Are they able to experience it? And are they able to fixate with that particular story and experience?
Yes. So one of the major things which we do at Farmlore is we ask people to come with an open mind.
Okay.
So when you're coming with an open mind, right? So you have a clean slate already in your head. So we just prepare them to that particular aspect of it. We ask them to come with an open mind, and once they are in an open mind, they are able to absorb whatever we are able to give in and tange and create stories in their minds itself. Okay. So that's basically so people, I would say 80 to 90% of the people get our stories.
Okay.
And I don't know about the 20%. I can't talk about the 20%, but I am very much sure those 80% are the one which I have to be.
That is pretty impressive,
Yeah.
actually. I always felt that even when there is a movie and a book, both being the same subject matter, the book is always much better because the book always is read from the perspective of the reader.
Okay.
Whereas the movie is always from the perspective of the director.
Great.
So if the content value is pretty much the same, but the way it is actually being perceived either by the reader or by the director, the book will always be better than the movie.
Absolutely.
So I think the guest, you have let it best for the guest to put it all together and experience it everything together.
That's a great analogy, by the way, because I actually read a book called Da Vinci Code first before seeing the movie.
Okay.
And I loved the book more.
Yes.
And I still can't get in my head, why did I love the book more? This made more sense.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, chef. Chef, and tell us a little bit more about your roots over here in Chennai and your local favorites over here, and how that has actually shaped up your preference of what you would like to serve to the guests.
Okay. My roots, I'm basically a boy from St. Thomas Mount. Okay. Went to schooling in Adayar, and before the pub or the club culture here in Chennai, the only place which we used to celebrate was Besant Nagar or Elliot's Beach. Yeah, and we go there and probably get a more menthol cigarette or things like that. I don't smoke, by the way, but my friends used to.
Okay.
So that's basically our life was. I was growing around things which was what Chennai is. Going back to More Market or finding those small little basin with a small boat which is going around. Those are my small little stories which I'm able to connect. Things which are completely forgotten as well. Bhajis was not there. Bhajis were just coming in at that particular time. We did not have pani puri carts then, but we had biryani. We had biryani. Biryani is another one. So foods like that, I kind of resonate with what I am brought up with. But I think it's more of a time travel for me to bring back those things only if I can get those ingredients at this point of time.
Absolutely.
But I can play with that nostalgia as well.
Okay.
But also, I think because of my little bit of an experience which I can go back and forth, I'm able to tap that.
Okay.
I'm able to tap that. But again, food is very subjective. Not everybody could like with whatever we are putting forward, because my stories may not resonate with everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm a boy from Chennai. How am I going to resonate with somebody from Switzerland?
Absolutely.
So
But nonetheless, I understand that a lot of your guests actually are from overseas.
yes,
And
yes.
despite having just 18 covers for lunch and 18 covers for dinner, you are usually sold out, and you don't work much on marketing. I think the product itself and the experience itself speaks for itself and carries it forward. Is that how it works in Formula?
Yeah, one of the major things, as I always tell my team or anybody, it's about how you're making others feel. You know,
Okay.
hospitality comes from the heart.
Okay.
That's one thing. Food will take care of most of the things.
Okay.
I'm not denying it. Food will take care, but it has to be taste.
Okay.
Taste is the most primary factor of it. And if it is tasty, if it is good, if you're able to like it, one of my chefs from Taj, he used to say, his name was Dinesh, he said, if you like it, you can serve it.
Yes, sir.
You can serve it. So I take it from there. I'm a pretty old school. Even another chef called Joseph, he also used to tell me the same thing. If you like it, you can go ahead, serve it, Johnny. That's what he used to say. So I take it from there and I put forward that, you know. So I tell my guys as well, if you like it, you can serve it. So taste comes the primary focal point of it, but the stories are built around, so people are interested to hear that story as well. But if the taste is great, they are on with it.
Absolutely. In farm lore, you emphasize a lot on sustainable gastronomy, and you talk about what do you call the correct word is actually locavore.
Locavore,
Yeah. Can you just explain a little bit more about that particular concept and what it is?
No, sustainable gastronomy is basically being ethical and true to the environment.
Okay.
That's the core word. It's basically being true to the environment. You don't want to import a lot of things from far and wide.
Okay.
So basically stopping the carbon footprint.
Okay.
Basically using things which are local amongst our midst
Okay.
and presenting it or making it much more elite.
Wow.
So to be very honest, if I ask an Indian what is soy sauce, he will definitely say what is soy sauce. But if I go and ask a Japanese guy what is ragi, or even for that matter what is ulundu, he will not know even a single word. I can get you that. Maybe there are people who can say, but I can tell you that. It's about how much passionate the Japanese were there to put their ingredients over here and make us all talk about that.
Absolutely.
So I see there's a lot of things which are really great in our midst as well. The kollu, the millets, and things like that. So we just want to bring it all together, put it out there, do it in such a way that it is much more special.
Absolutely.
And then put it out there for people to appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Chef, I know we are not having a structured platform. We just, two guys having a go at it in terms of experiences and what we are currently doing. In that particular sense, we are running an academy. We are trying to train young chefs and, specifically in the pastry and the bakery front. So with that in mind, Chef, I understand that you have been grooming a lot of talent. And these talents actually are reaching great heights by them being recognized by international institutions and be ranked as some of the best chefs here in this part of the world. So with that, can you please just tell about your younger chefs whom you are grooming and what they actually have achieved and provide some motivation for the younger aspiring chefs?
So the major thing I would say is like me as a chef, I'm the oldest in my kitchen.
Okay.
I'm 44. The second oldest in my kitchen is 30.
Okay.
Okay, and she's my head chef.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there is already a 14 or a 15-year-old gap there. So everybody else are the guys who are going out of India, starting to work over there and seeing something which is much more special happening in India, and they want to come back. So they are already having that motivation to come back to India and get to that level as well. So when they come back and join the team, the same thing what I tell to the guests, come with an open mind, I tell them as well. I prepare them to come with an open mind over there to the kitchen as well, because it's not going to be all roses and gold spoons.
Yeah.
You got to put in your hours, you got to do your sacrifices, and you got to stay motivated day in and day out. It's like, I love this particular quote of Thomas Keller in one of those TED Talks I saw.
Yeah.
It's like, do one thing better than the day before. So just pick one thing which you want to do better and do it a little bit better the next day.
Absolutely.
So I take that and I tell my guys as well, and I motivate few people to follow me in that particular direction. And having said that, I'm been lucky by all these talents who want to come back and work with me, and I'm fortunate enough to work with someone called Maitri Iyer. She is also a girl from Chennai.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she was in ITC as well before she reached out to me that I said I want her to be my head chef, and she is my go-to girl. She's my head chef, and she drives the whole thing at Farm Lore. So when I'm not there, she's always there. So that's Maitri.
If I'm not mistaken, she's the one who won it last time in
Yes,
South
yes,
Africa, right?
Maitri fortunately put me as a mentor because of the 5 years of us working together.
Okay.
So she took me along to South Africa, and we created a dish which won in South Africa, Cape Town last year, and we went to the finals as well. But yeah, she is the reigning champion of South Africa, Middle East, and Asia.
That San Pellegrino is
San
a very,
Pellegrino
very
young chef. So that was
competition.
last year.
But Romba intensive at the chef. I was, of course, I was not physically present there, but I could see the photographs from
Yes,
the
yes.
press and everything, and I could feel the intensity of the competition. You were there mentoring her, and she was there, and I think it was a huge pressured moment.
It is.
கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு படம் பார்க்குற மாதிரி தான் எங்களுக்கு வந்து we had that effect
Yeah.
when we actually saw some of the footage and some of the videos.
No, fortunately enough, because of this new age world, I could go live. I think
Okay.
last time I posted live also
Okay.
of the whole thing happening. It was really intense as well,
Okay.
because these are not everyday chefs.
Okay.
These are chefs who are doing it or killing it in the Michelin star
Category.
level kind of restaurants already. These are all having mentors who are Michelin star holders.
Okay.
These are all chefs from not small spaces.
Okay.
These are proper professionally trained chefs who are coming and doing a concept out there and putting it out there. This is an high intensity competition, I would say.
Absolutely.
So this year there's another person who got through as well. His name is Babalesh Rajan. He's again from South as well.
Wow.
He is from Madurai, and he is doing this whole Padayal thing in a completely different way. It's about saying nose to tail actually started from our sacrifices.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he has his father who's a military man, his grandfather who's a military man as well. So he brings in his philatre of things
Experiences and
from Madurai, you know. So it's very evident. So when you see these guys passionate who want to put themselves out there, not forgetting their identity, by the way.
Absolutely.
So when they bring it along and they want to put it out there, who am I? I'm just a person who's there right next to them, who can motivate them and be in their shadow as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what is the one important advice that you would give to young aspiring chefs now?
Oh, the young aspiring chefs.
Yeah.
As I told you before, this particular line: be patient.
Okay.
Grassroots are some of the most important things. Grind every single day. Grind every single day, and the victory would get to you.
Absolutely.
Grind every single day. Don't worry about tomorrow. Keep grinding.
Absolutely. Chef, as you know now, I think the Indian cuisine is becoming very popular in the world map, right? Of course, earlier it used to be the Chinese, then the Japanese, then the Mexican, and of course, Indian is always there because our Desi population is there every part of the world. How do you see that, evolving further, specifically with the South Indian, cuisine, especially regional cuisines coming to the front? How do you see that evolving, and what do you see as the opportunity in the near future, Chef?
No, there are micro-regional cuisines which are much more important, I would say.
Okay.
Talking to you as well, I learned something new today.
Okay.
Before this we had a small little talk. I learned something new that there is something unique in every village as well.
Absolutely.
So India is very vast, very big in culture. So I think Chef Atul Kochhar was one of the ones who said, it's called Cuisines of India.
Absolutely.
it's called
In fact,
Cuisines
it's so
of
surprising that you mentioned Chef Atul Kochhar. Atul Kochhar is the one actually who also gave us advice earlier. Thank you, Chef Atul, for actually finding inspiration in our history and in our roots. So he was here recently for one of the events, and when I asked him, Chef, what do you recommend for the young pastry chefs? So exactly what you said is what he also told.
No, because I used to follow him as well. Of course, he's a college senior in IHM as well.
Yep.
So I used to follow his work as well. The one time when he described Indian cuisine, he said it's not Indian cuisine. It's called Cuisines of India.
Cuisines of
so I take it back. So there is more cuisines. There's a whole little sector of the 7 states or the 7 sisters. The whole northeast is still uninhabited to the whole world. We have not
As far as the culinary exposure is concerned.
Exposure is concerned. Even Badaga cuisine, even the tribal cuisines of Tamil Nadu or Nilgiris. So there's a lot more in terms of cuisines what India can offer and has to offer in future as well. So as cuisine, as an inspirational point, I say India has got a big encyclopedia to play with.
Absolutely.
And it's just a matter of time where we take that in pieces, break it down, and put it out there to people to take it forward.
Absolutely. And the thing is that the good news is that people are willing to explore that. People are willing to accept that, and there is a very strong possibility of doing a successful business around it. So all the equation in this particular platform are working out.
Yeah, because of again the times which we are living in at the moment, and people are more enticed to those words, trending words, I would say, of sustainability, veganism, and things like that, which are all coming into the forte, and taking all this up, so people are being much more mindful these days, I would say. And me also learning about these techniques which are much more ethical. And when you're putting it inside the food, in the four corners of food, you're able to sell it even more better. And when you're able to sell food even more better in a much more ethical way, people are there to come and get it. People do travel for food.
Absolutely. I think, yes, you are very rightly said. In fact, that is a word actually I wanted to speak. Mindful. People are becoming mindful. Business are seeing that as an important aspect that needs to be fulfilled. Hence the reason for businesses or for that matter concepts to center around sustainability, responsible sourcing, lessening the carbon footprint, and this is all part and parcel of being mindful. Correct? That we care about the environment, we care about the things around us, we care about the people around us, and so many factors actually come into it. And when the food is actually coming from the heart, I think all these things automatically follow into place, right? I think that is how it is panning out for some of the most successful businesses and restaurants and concepts that have these as some of the anchor points for them to move forward. Chef, if I would ask you to say that, tell me one of your most favorite spice that you cannot do away with, what would that spice be? I know asking a chef to mention one spice will be a very tough thing, but what would be your most favorite spice to work with?